We have electronic schemes of work.
Yeah.
And they are lesson by lesson, so that every teacher knows what the learning outcomes are. That means what it is that by the end of the lesson, the student needs to know, or be able to do, or be able to describe, etc. That isn't the same, because that's how you teach it. It's not the same as the textbooks.
Yeah.
So let me give you an example. How is data used to use choosing the right materials, improving the properties of metals? Okay, this is a certain lesson I'm going to give. So here it comes up. So I will know in the plan what the children have to be able to do from this.
Yeah.
So I know that. I look at it. When I go, I quickly look to see what's going on. And there's some teacher notes there as well that describes it for me. And I can see, oh, okay, there's a practical there that you can do. I think, okay, fine. And then there's a checking mechanism at the end that they are able to all do. Now, I think to myself, that's a bit boring. My students, I'm going to teach it in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
Because that's my professional role.
Yeah.
I can't change what's required from them. So I think to myself, right, I'll make my own plan. And that's what I'm going to do. I say, right, in this lesson, you've got to be able to write a definition of an alloy. You've got to be able to describe an experiment. I'm going to give you a sheet there and I'm going to organise the experiment for you. You've seen people do practicals here, haven't you?
Yeah.
So they do the practical work. You've got to complete that sheet and you've got to go through all of that and you've got to tell me at the end of it what you don't know. So you're planning, you're monitoring, you're evaluating your own learning, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. They will have access to the textbook in the class, so they might then have to go, okay, what's the definition? I've got to find that. Here we go. Discuss it with each other.
Yeah.
That's the model. But don't forget at the end, when they produce it, they're going to say, I don't really know this, miss. So could you review that for me?
Yeah.
It's activating them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be the leader of their learning, because I don't know, when they leave school, science is changing so quickly.
Yeah.
They've got to be good learners as well as learn all of that content. The content's not the important, isn't only the content, it's the way they learn, okay? So it's not completely free, of course it's not, because I have to have the syllabus and the content and the textbook there. Every one of them has one of these at home. Okay, so that is their own book, and that is really about content.
Yeah.
So it might well be that this I've put on Google Classroom. Google Classroom, yeah.
Okay.
So I go on there, right, there it is, and I put then that work in there and I say, there it is, that's your homework. We started it at home, but that is what you need to do. So I've told them that right at the beginning of the lesson. You've got me, you've got your practical work, you've got your textbook.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to have to achieve, and you've got to plan your own way through it. But I'm collecting it in, so I put it on the Google Classroom, then it says start in class, finish at home, and then I had to say, look, I've extended that deadline, and then all of them get an email at home to remind them that that's what the work is. So don't think, well, this homework had a deadline for today, but my class happened to be on a geography field trip. They've gone to the seaside to measure rocks or something.
Yeah.
So I said, deadline extended to Friday because of geography trip.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. But I would not give just one night to do a homework.
Yeah.
Because that would be wrong, because they've got other things to do. Because if they don't do their homework, they'll get a punishment for it.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's how it works. Now, you asked about planning,
Yeah.
AFAF.
Yeah.
To me, to me, the most important thing a teacher can do is plan a lesson. Because it's not like anybody off the street can say, read that, learn it.
Yeah.
That's not teaching.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So the most important thing is, but don't think we don't have these. Of course we do, but they have to be used. But with another course that I might have, I've taught this particular course for quite a long time. Oh, let me find it now. Here we go. It's another course. And unfortunately, the syllabus, do you have that syllabus? It's changed, so we've got a new course. Whereas this course here, okay,
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you a lesson. It's just random, AFAF. Do you understand?
Yes. Yeah.
This is a bit random, but I'm just thinking, right, here's this lesson. You know, I've done this lesson hundreds of times. There's a lesson plan for me there. It's got the learning outcomes, it's got the activities, it's got the textbook, which if I want to look at the book, it's there electronically if I want to, you know. I can have that on the screen, or I can use the book. Yeah, this is a download.
Yeah.
But this one I'm happy with. But with the one that we've just got, it's a new syllabus.
Yeah.
We are now making it our own. So all of us will get together and produce a proper one with all of the activities organised properly. So, but this is my first time through. So I don't know yet which are the best activities, what helps the learning, what was stuck. To try things.
Yes.
I mean, I'm 55, I'm not beyond learning.
Yeah.
I look at it and I think, that's not going to work. Good, I'll try that again.
Yeah.
So I like to do what the course is the first time, because that way it keeps you fresh, and, you know, sometimes these ideas are much better than what I think. I've taught it the same way.
The way that we plan what to do is we go to the scheme of work. So, for example, if I go to C2, doing chemical patterns, click on the lesson that we'd like to teach. So the first lesson would be changing models of the atom. And I open up the lesson, it's the scheme of work that we've got, and it tells me what we need to find out. And then if we click through, it's got all the different activity sheets that we need. So what I would do would be open them up, have a look at them, see what I think about them, and then plan a lesson based on them. So what we're doing here is we'd go learning outcomes, and I would take the learning outcomes from the lesson. So here, learning outcome would be explain Dalton's atomic model, give the evidence for the electrons, etc., etc. Put them onto this sheet here. Then what I do is I would say what I'm going to do as a starter. So for example, what do you know about the atom?
Yeah.
And then the main here, I would use the different activities that we want to use. I wouldn't necessarily use all of them. Some of them are not good, some of them are good.
Yeah.
And then we would link them. So for example, finding the nucleus, I could say, right, activity 1 would be read this bit and answer the question, and then that meets how did they discover the nucleus? So that would meet that learning outcome. Then what I do is just keep having a look through, choosing which activities I want, write them down. Here's the resources so that no one else has to go through this kind of process of working out what you do and don't want to use. Tell them what the plenary is, so what little ending task I'd have there, and if there's any homework. So what we've done is we've taught as the scheme, so try to do every single activity, and then we've all discussed what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And now what we're doing, now we've had experience of teaching those, is we're going through and making them better. But we're not all doing that individually, we're doing it as a team. So Lynette, for example, will take the C1s, module C1, I'll take the module C2, and Colin will take module C3, and then we share all these resources together. And then it means that you've got a set lesson plan, everyone's doing the same activities, we all teach in the same way, but equally, if there's something that someone feels, actually I would have preferred to do it this way, you can add to it and you can change it, and we just keep communicating and keep changing it as we go through, so it's not set in stone, but it's good basis for us all to be consistent.
And then we can order it from the technicians. Lesson 1, C1, lesson 1, all the stuff comes and there's a plan. So that means we can concentrate at home on making it right for our class. We don't have to go back to the first principle and saying, how do I teach fractions?
Yeah.
There's something as a basis to start in.
Electrolysis. So the electrolysis lesson and the scheme of work actually takes about 5 hours to teach, but they suggest it's one lesson. So what I've gone down and done is broken it down to like manageable chunks, and then just put some of the learning outcomes here.
As a team.
As a team.
Yes. So we've worked out how many lessons we have for Key Stage 4, and so then we've split it up in that. So it works out about 20 lessons per module. So electrolysis is only about a third of this C3 module, so I need about 5 lessons on it really, because the 20 lessons counts for revision and for the tests as well, so we've got to take that into account. So what I've done here is just one that I made earlier, so I did the learning outcomes here, and then I put the start. I've also made a PowerPoint, so we can click on that, and then everyone would have access to this.
You are going to tell me how to do this?
Yes, And then the PowerPoint will come up, so all the learning outcomes and the resources are all there, so no one has to go and no one's repeating anything.
Yeah.
Then I've got the starter, tells you what you need to do. Then I've got the introduction, so the main part here, so the practical, and here again I put the practical sheet here. So I thought there's about 20 practicals here.
Yeah.
You don't need to do them all. I thought this one was the best one. So then it links to the practical sheet that I need there, so I can find it there. And then again, I thought it was another activity sheet here, so I've loaded up, again, a hyperlink to that one. So instead of having to go through all the caboodle stuff that you saw earlier, like clicking on all those different PowerPoints and opening them all up, I've already decided, so no one has to go through and make that decision again. And then finally for their plenary, so I've given some examples here, and then given the instruction to mark bit there. And I just need to load up the answers, so if you're not a specialist, the answers to those sheets are there as well. But it just means that then it's much easier. You don't have to go through all those schemes of work. Not everyone's having to click on 20 worksheets. Not everyone's having to work out what's going to fit into an hour lesson.
Because it's really tiring.
It's hard work. Yes. There are sometimes support sheets on here, so then we would use support sheets. Sometimes it takes lots of people a long time to draw a results table, and then they can't actually make progress on the content in the lesson, so then I might prepare the results table for them. But sometimes they have to learn how to do these things, and sometimes that is the challenge for them, that lesson, is actually working those out for themselves. So we kind of do a little bit of give and take. And so for my year 10s, I have 2 lessons a week. So I would just carry on down here. So say this week I'm on lesson 5 today, and I have my year 10s again tomorrow. Then I've got lesson 6, and then next week I would do lesson 7, lesson 8. So it just carry on. And the nice thing about this is, if we're ordering all these sheets, what I can say to the technician is, can I have C3 lesson 5? They've got access to this, and they know that lesson 5, they only need those 3 things. Rather than if I ordered electrolysis and they go, well, there's 20 worksheets and 20 practicals, which bit do you want? So it's much easier. But what we try and do is fit something reasonable in and out. So we introduce electrolysis here, and then later on we might talk about electrolysis in different contexts, so why we use it, the costs and the benefits.